Hey babes. So in this episode, I am sharing with you a funny little story that actually happened and is really the beginning of how my salon and spa became a hybrid salon and spa. And I don't think I have ever talked about this. I don't think I've ever given this story any like importance like it should. So that is what today's episode is all about. Let's get to it. Tell me what you think after you listen, and let's go. Are you a beauty or barber pro looking for that push to do that thing you've always wanted to do, whether it's in or out of the salon, spa, or shop? Are you tired of not feeling good enough, smart enough, skilled enough? Are you tired of not getting a handle on your mental health, boundaries, and insecurities? I'm Krystine Sherwood, the BeautyPro coach, an internationally certified coach, a salon and spa owner, and your personal Jiminy Cricket. I use my own experiences, good and bad, as a salon owner to help you be more self-aware, authentic, and forward-thinking in your approach to life, in and out of the salon. It's time to reach your version of success with the BeautyPro Coach podcast. Babes. Okay, so this episode is actually titled How One Phone Call Changed Our Lives, right? And I know if you have been listening before, you know the story of how I was, right before I became a coach. I was a micromanaging, toxic, one of those crazy business owners, right? Because we can apply this to all businesses and the attitudes of how the boss really sets the tone for the rest of the team, the culture, the clients, everything. And so today I'm going to share the story of how my salon and spa actually became a hybrid. Now, if you are a faithful nurturer to your team and you are constantly going to shows and your team is going to shows and you're constantly doing education, even when you're not at a show, like maybe you have a subscription to Behind the Chair or Dispute or the Teas or something where you're constantly educating yourself. Beauty Launchpad is great with their magazine. You can get it virtually. Modern Salon, Salon Today, I am name dropping all of the big organizations that you should be subscribed to, that you should be getting your news and your education from. There's more, I'm sure, but in any case. So when I had my salon early on in my career, as a business owner, it was a commission salon. And I have talked about this in past episodes that, my business partner, who is my mom, we were bent on having it a commission salon only. But just like you, we had the problems of laundry, of which we still have the problem with laundry. That never goes away. um, we were talking about, commission structures and commission tiers and how do I motivate my staff and how do I incentivize them? Why can't they get it right? Like I'm working behind the chair. How do I train them at the same time? Like all of these things. And now on the other side, I truly believe that it is all up to the individual artist, the stylist, the esthetician, because the lash tech, because you as the owner can only provide so much. Okay. And during this time of transition, because like every owner knows, every salon or spa owner knows, like you go through this phase where you're hiring, you're going to everywhere, and then you take a break because you got to catch your breath. You got to rest and recover, right? And so there was I think we took a couple weeks off. I'll say like a month or two, and we're like, okay, we're gonna take a break. Can you do my color kind of deal? And this young stylist walks into the salon. I have color on. My mom is actually applying my color. My glasses are off. I can't see anything, right? And I immediately had to get into boss mode and be like, yes, hello, absolutely." And I had colored my hair, like, how do you take anybody serious? Okay, boss or client, like, you can't take anybody serious when you have your color on. So, anyway, that happened, and this girl comes in. She's dressed in black, she looks fairly decent, and she comes in and she's, like, very artsy, right? So she's got tats on, she's got piercings, and I'm like, "Yeah, I can't see for jack, but I can see that, and alright, we'll see what happens. I'll talk to you soon." So, anyway, so she leaves, I take her resume, we continue on applying my color, doing my thing. Several weeks before that moment, I was so inspired and I was so invigorated, on my coaching side, right? Because I am a certified coach, internationally certified by the International Certified Federation. And I am always cooking up new ideas on how to get the word out, how to let people know that I am available to you and to salon owners and hairstylists and spa owners and estheticians and lash girls. Like, I'm always coming up with ideas. So at the time, I had some idea. I don't even know what it was, and it's probably a recurring idea that I always get every couple months, and I act on it, so I don't even know at this point. So anyway, so I took it upon myself to I think it was a cold call or something, which, they always tell you, "Oh my god, you never just mass send DMs to, people. You don't ever market yourself that way. You don't just go up to people," like, and I'm like, please, girl, please. I do everything. And that's just my style. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm going to do it anyway just so I can cross it off my list. And yeah, so that's the oh, I remember as I am talking to you right now. Okay, so what it was that we got a client and they came in and they had name dropped the salon that they're coming from that they didn't want to go to anymore, but the stylist had her formula. And I said, "Okay, this is such an opportunity. We can connect, we can collab. There's no hard feelings, right? Because we all know that our competition can get a little catty, right?" So I took this as an opportunity to be like, this is great. We are not going to compete. We're going to collab. We're going to connect. We're going to become professional besties." And so I called the salon and this woman picks up and I said, "Hey, so and so, we got a call, or we just got one of your former guests and we're calling about the formula." And she goes, "Okay, great." She gives me the formula, whatever. And which we all know, if you know color, you know color. So you don't ever really need a formula. But in any case, I took it as a gateway to connect. And then also to totally plug myself. And so the lady on the phone is like, "Okay, great." So she tells me whatever she tells me. And then at the end I say, "Oh, and by the way, before you go, I just want to let you know that you guys and your salon and the girls there, the staff, they are always more than welcome to come by the salon. I'm an internationally certified coach. I am always giving classes. You guys are always more than welcome, and I'd love to offer you a free class for whenever you guys are ready." And the woman on the phone goes, "Oh, okay. I will let her know. I will let my boss know." And I said, "Okay, great. Awesome. Sounds so good. Can't wait to hear from you." Okay. So that's the backstory. Fast forward to after that, okay? It turns out that the receptionist that I spoke to was the mother of the stylist who came into my salon looking for a job. And that stylist worked at that salon. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." And I only found about this very recently. I did not know until this whole thing, and I was like, "No way." And it's so cool. The mom, she comes in, her daughter does her hair, like, we're very grateful, we're very blessed to have this mother-daughter come in, and we love seeing them, and it turns out the mom and I share the same name, more or less, so it's very cool. In any case, so during this time, it was a moment where as a business owner, you have the opportunity to change everything. And I remember having this discussion with my business partner and I said, "Okay, listen. this is how we did it. We should really try this. Let's just try this hybrid thing. Let's just see what happens, right? Let's just make sure everything is up to date. Let's make sure we're good, and then we'll just introduce it and we'll see how that works. Yes. Okay, great. So the stylist, she ends up coming on board as an employee first, right? And the way it is in Florida is that you is federal law. Florida is federal law. So state law is federal law. They cut out the middleman, right? So what that means is there is a 90-day trial period in the state of Florida for any business. And so during that time, you're really finding out if you guys are a good fit for each other, if it's going to work out, if you see any potential problems. And so the any employee, but in the salon and spa world, you start out as an assistant, you're learning each other. And so this stylist, she was apprenticing, assisting, learning our ways. We're learning her. Trying to see where her strengths and weaknesses are. She's an employee. So she works out. I think it was about a year. And then she comes to me and she said, Krystine, when should I? She goes, well, first of all, my parents are not beauty pros. So they don't know. And I keep telling them that it takes time. But just out of your professional opinion, how long should I be on commission before I go to booth rent? And I loved this because this was like, oh my gosh, this is the moment. This is the defining moment, right? And I said, absolutely. I love that you're thinking about this. Let's talk. And so we had to sit down and I explained to her, for me personally, I always like to say 1 to 2 years, you are really learning the salon, you're grasping it. By the third year, you start thinking about, okay, what do I do? Do I start staying in this position or do I branch out? Like, how do I do this? By the fifth year, for any business, by the way, not just salon and spa owners, this is any business at all. It takes about 5 years to start getting some kind of reputation, some kind of acknowledgement that you exist, that, oh, we are for real, we are for serious, right? And so I told this stylist, I said, so I would, by the third year, let's have another sit down again by the third year. Okay. She's like, okay, great, fine. Well, that didn't last long. It was, I think, the following year, by year two, she said, okay, no, I want to go on rent. I said, okay, let's do it. I don't think you're prepared. I don't think you're ready, but let's go ahead and do it. So I am very transparent with my staff these days. It could be perhaps a little too much. I get in trouble by my boss, which is my mom, who's my business partner. But in any case, I personally like it. I like to be very transparent and very blunt and very honest. And they will tell you. My staff will tell you, Krystine is straight up. So, in any case, so the following year, we transitioned her into booth renting. And at this time, now we have 2 renters, and I think we have 2 commission stylists, 1 assistant, 1 esthetician, who does lashes, I think, at this time. And so we're like a small but mighty team. And it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And all because I the moral, and this is the whole point of this episode today, this is the moral of the story, is very short and sweet. Is that I had an idea and I understood the rules, right? As far as a coach, like you're not supposed to cold message people on Instagram and Facebook and show up at their salons and hand out flyers. Like you're not supposed to do that because what a waste of time. You're supposed to be doing things targeted, right? Be more strategic than that. And that goes for salons and spas and solopreneurs and all those things. You want to be strategic, right? For me personally, I do everything, and that is my strategy because if you're not going to see me one way, you're going to see me another way. And like one of our guests, which you have yet to listen to yet, but she's a little Scottish princess and her episode is going to be airing anytime now. She is my motivation now. She's like my spirit animal. if I'm going to be known, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to coach, if I'm going to have the best salon, if I'm going to be the stylist, you're going to know me. No matter what happens, you are going to know me. And that's exactly been my mentality as a coach. That has been my mentality as a business owner. That has been my mentality as a single woman. Like everything is marketing, right? So I got to market myself as a single woman. Hello, universe. I am single. Please send me the man of my dreams. We're going to manifest now. But in any case, so I do everything. And at the time of this recording right now, I actually have several spreadsheets revving and ready to go, and another round of local salons in my area that I am going to be bombarding. Except this time, it's going to be about the BeautyPro podcast. It's going to be about free education. If you are a VIP, you will have just gotten my email that I sent out on Monday and about this. And so it's very exciting and it's so cool in retrospect to see how my persistence helped my salon and vice versa. And so for today, I want you to really grasp this and to take it to heart for your own self, in that everything that you are doing is not in vain. You keep on pressing on, you keep going, don't give up, but remember to balance it, okay? If you are tired, rest. If you are motivated, go. If you need a break, take a vacation. Like, absolutely. You have to do that in order to maintain yourself, because without you, there's no business, right? For those solopreneurs out there. Business owners is a little different. You got to learn to delegate, pass the torch. But in any case, so that is really the beginnings of how we became a hybrid salon. I am very proud of that story. I'm very happy with that story, um, because that stylist is thriving. And that's another thing. I had said, listen, I don't think you're ready. And there are even some days where I'm like, babe, your retention, your percentages, your booking, like what is going on? But then at the same time, like, that is her journey, her path. I can guide, I can educate, I can inform, teach, do all the things. But it's such a good, freeing experience to understand that's their journey, right? I'm living my journey and I have to maintain my journey. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's a freeing experience. And I just want to share that with the salon and spa owners right now. Like, you have to be responsible for you. You need to have the big picture. You need to have everything written down, been like accordingly. You got to do all of that. And you got to know who you are, what you want, why you want it. You got to know how you're going to act when you get it. And you got to know how you act when you don't like something. And that's what happened here. And it has been the most beneficial, the most gratifying experience. And I just want to encourage you that you keep doing all the things and don't let anybody stop you. And you do what works for you. And that's part of discovering what works for you and what doesn't. How are you going to know if you don't do it? Right. So, anyway, that is today's episode. If you are listening up until this point, I want to invite you that one, sign up for my emails. Okay. All you have to do is go to my Instagram link, tap it, and you will have a section to get on my email list. Or you can grab one of my freebies there, or you can just send me a message and I will get you on the list. But the point is, get on my VIP list and you'll be the first one. You'll get the first dibs on any free education, online or in person, any retreats, any events that I'm doing. So definitely go do that. The other thing is too, if you are a salon or spa owner and you want a class, I have a list of topics that I teach on, that my programs are based out of. I am always adding to that topic list. My experience in public law as well as public relations is vast, let me tell you. And so if you are interested in having a class, I am offering one free class, um, which is about an hour, hour and a half of my time, which is valued at approximately about $450. Um, and I'm giving it to you for free, in person or on Zoom. And if you are a Florida salon and you're on the East Coast, um, or just yeah, if you're a Florida salon and you need and want some help, let me know, babes. I am coming to you. So that makes it a little easier. But yeah, I am extending that out to you guys. I know I have a lot of listeners in Alaska, a lot of listeners in Texas and Kansas City. Hey, babes. So claim your classes, guys. And I cannot wait to connect more and to teach you all the things. So that's a wrap. Thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. If you loved this episode, subscribe to the Beauty Pro podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave your reviews, stars, feedback so I can continue bring the content you deserve and want most. Your feedback fuels this podcast. The more you give, the more you get back. You can follow me at The Beauty Pro Coach on Instagram and Facebook. Want to contact me directly? Email me at befree@goldentruthcoaching.com.